Just over a month ago, I made a wild claim that Astrobot may have leaked a new Rayman game, and to everyone's surprise, it actually happened. As we all know by now, Ubisoft announced that they are looking into the future of the brand with a new remake being leaked and a separate Rayman 3 remaster being thrown around as well. Amid this recent news and the release of some Astrobot DLC, I thought I ought to do an update, because things have changed. If you haven't already, it's worth checking out the initial Astrobot video I made because I'll make a lot of references to it in this video, but if you have, let's crack on, and if you don't want to watch it, that's fine, I'll explain enough of it probably. As my original theory goes, Rayman and some other third-party franchises appeared in the credits of the PS5 exclusive platformer, but they were not present in the game itself. I noted that these IPs would most likely appear in upcoming DLC maps for Astrobot as a sort of promotional brand deal for upcoming releases, specifically remasters. My reasoning behind this is that the games listed were Croc, Worms, Beyond Good and Evil, Assassin's Creed, and of course Rayman. I've said it before, but Croc has a remaster coming out in December, Worms Armageddon Anniversary Edition dropped in September, Beyond Good and Evil Anniversary Edition came out in June, and a new Assassin's Creed was scheduled for November before a recent delay to February. My argument is that this is such a random selection of games to feature in the credits, and the only thing binding them or connecting them together in any way is the fact that they had new releases scheduled, except for Rayman. So my theory goes that if Astrobot is bringing in new speedrun maps with bots to rescue, and it's a game that's already well known for being primed for advertising, and all the other games have new releases coming soon, then Rayman must have a new release coming in the near future. I then explained what I thought it would be and why. I said a Rayman 3 remaster. It is a Rayman 3 remaster, because somehow all of this came true. It is insane. I'm not even here to gloat or anything, I'm just in disbelief that I made this random theory video and 3 weeks later almost all of it came true. It's bizarre. I mean, thank you for watching it, I suppose, because it got quite a lot of views as well. But if I'm not here to gloat, then what am I doing? What is the point of this video? Well, you've seen the title and the thumbnail. I'm flipping the switch this time. Last time I said Astrobot helped leak a new Rayman game. Well, this time I'm saying that Rayman has helped confirm new Astrobot DLC. So stay with me here. Among the third-party games in Astrobot's credits were a couple of PS5 exclusive games, Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin. My thought process for these games being in the credits but not the main game was that they were too new to put in the game. Team Asobi had already planned for all of the main bots before those two games had come out or become big enough to warrant cameos in the game, so along with all the promotional bots for Rayman and Worms, they could throw out some of the more recent PlayStation mascots that didn't make the cut, maybe even to tie in with some DLC for those games. I was right. You see, shortly after I dropped my video, like the day after dropping that video, Sony did a state of play that announced 5 new speedruns for the game, each with 2 new bots to collect. I knew this would happen, I was confident the state of play would show this. They've started to release and are now being dropped once a week every Thursday. As of recording this, there are 3 speedruns out there and 2 more to come. But what bots have been included so far? Well, here's where it gets a bit interesting and actually reinforces my theory a little bit, at least the new part. The first speedrun has the player saving a Rise of the Ronin character and a Helldivers 2 character. The second speedrun has a Stellar Blade character and another Helldivers 2 bot. And the third speedrun has a character from Guilty Gear and, of course, yet another Helldivers 2 bot. We don't know who the 4th and 5th speedruns will provide us with, but I mean, I can take an educated guess that Helldivers 2 will show up again, probably once, maybe twice. But the others, I'm not so sure. But that doesn't really matter, because what's interesting here is that these are Sony games. Helldivers 2 is a new PS5 game, Rise of the Ronin and Stellar Blade, as we know, are recent PS5 games. In fact, the state of play may have actually hinted at some DLC for one of these, which just reinforces my theory there that it's to tie in with something new. And Guilty Gear, which I'll admit I don't really know much about, it seems to be launching on Switch early next year and has had a lot of updates recently, so it's like a fairly new game. This is the most recent one I'm talking about, it came out in 2021. So maybe that's why they've chosen that one. It'll be easier to narrow this down once we see what the last 2 are. Either way, Croc, Worms, Rayman, Beyond Good and Evil, and Assassin's Creed, that's 5 games. We know the final 2 speedruns will give us a total of 4 new bots. So what gives? How's that going to work? Well, Astrobot is going to drop some new DLC in the future. That's my theory. Challenge maps. 10 to be precise, and these ones will be the ones that tie in with the future releases for the aforementioned games. The speedruns seem more connected to the game itself, Astrobot, I mean, predominantly featuring PlayStation games characters to rescue, the courses being very Astrobot themed, it makes sense. But if you were to create some new courses to promote third-party games, you may perhaps theme the courses around them. Now this is very much theory territory, I'm not saying that's the case, but then again, if you look at the Astrobot map, there is definitely space for another nebula. Like, I'm very certain that some new challenge maps are coming, and they'll be like the shape ones in the main game, you know, the cross, the square, the circle, the triangle. Challenges that aren't so much speed-based, but just difficult platforming challenges, you know? So yeah, I think these will be coming soon, maybe in December or sometime next year, and I think these challenges will focus more on those other IPs in the credits, you know, Rayman, Croc, Worms, everything like that. Had those IPs not been in the credits, I would obviously never have come up with the original theory about Rayman coming back, but because they are, and that turned out to be true, it now means that they've turned around and returned the favour by confirming more maps are coming to Astrobot. It's a funny turn of events, actually. I don't think these will release with the new games, personally. Beyond Good and Evil is already out, obviously. Worms has also just come out. Assassin's Creed is in February if it doesn't get delayed again. Croc is currently scheduled for December, but Argonaut Games have said that could change if they're not ready. And Rayman is probably March. Like, I'd like to say it's December this year, and it's possible, but if I'm being realistic, I think Rayman 3 Remastered will release in March. Point is, I can see the challenge maps releasing weekly in 2025. I think that's probably the most likely, maybe starting around Christmas. Anyway, this is all a theory, but if you're still not convinced, Team Asobi said months ago that they might be working on some new maps, 5 speedruns and 10 challenge maps. Well, half of that came true. Let's be real. The rest of it will too. I hope I'm right, because while I do keep talking about Astrobot from a marketing cameo sense, it is a damn good game, and I would love more challenge maps to play through. So I hope it does happen. Regarding Rayman, you know it's happening soon. Rayman 3 Remastered is almost guaranteed at this point. It's been rumoured that Nintendo want a handful of ports added to the Switch in the last few months before the Switch 2 comes out, and following the Xenoblade Chronicles X announcement the other day, it seems that this was true. So them asking Ubisoft to do a few really isn't out of the realm of possibility. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let's hope Ubisoft follow through with everything and give us lots of Rayman goodies. And I have to say it, thank you for so many views, likes, comments and new followers from that original Astrobot video and everything I've done since then. I had no intention of making more videos after that, but it gave me a little surge of inspiration and excitement to make more, and now I'm really enjoying rambling about Rayman and getting involved with the community a lot more. So do feel free to subscribe and stick around for more, because I've got loads of videos in the pipeline, both about Rayman and various other games. So yeah, I've got no plans on slowing down. But until then, stay cool, stay purple, stay limbless, and I will see you in the next one.